2025 is a year of challenges and opportunities. And as we do every fall, Furniture Today is on the road talking with some of our domestic manufacturers about exactly how they're shifting strategy and developing plans and product to accommodate. Today, we're kicking off our domestic manufacturing series at Bassett Furniture here in Bassett, Virginia. We're going to take you inside to learn a little bit about the history of the company and also find out about some of what they have planned for the remainder of 2025 and beyond.
Bassett was founded in 1902. Prior to that, the family were farmers along the Smith River in Bassett. As the railway was needed to bring coal from West Virginia to the Winston-Salem area for the tobacco and hosiery mills there, Bassett, Virginia was about the halfway point. So we gave the right-of-way to the railroad. In return, they ran the railroad right through the family farm. We supplied bridge timbers and cross ties for the railroad. And then once it was complete, J.D. Bassett went on the road by train selling fine Appalachian hardwood lumber to other furniture factories, mostly in the Northeast. And then it was said that his wife, Pocahontas Hunley Bassett, said, well, if you can cut the lumber here, ship it north, they can make the furniture, ship it back south, and do it a profit. Imagine what we could do if we did it here. So, smart lady, smart gentleman for listening to her. 1902, company was founded by J.D. Bassett, C.C. Bassett, and their brother-in-law, R.L. Stone. So in 1902, J.D. Bassett, he had acquired the knowledge and experience in how to process lumber to make furniture. So he went on the road buying equipment, and C.C. Bassett and R.L. Stone stayed here, hired 50 men, and built a factory. The first year, they did turn a profit. A chest of drawers in 1902 sold for $4.75. The company had its set of challenges. Fire, the original plant burned. They rebuilt, instead of a wood structure this time, a brick structure. They put 2 wood-fired boilers to fire the generators, one for the factory and one for the developing town. We survived the Depression. We even had our own company currency to use at the local mercantile stores. World War II, J.D. Bassett Jr., or Doug, he traveled to Detroit and secured a contract with Yellow Cab and Coach Company to manufacture wooden truck beds for deuce and a half, GMC deuce and a half troop and supply vehicles. So we moved all the furniture into 2 factories and then converted 1 factory for the war effort. So that was a brilliant move by converting a factory to produce the truck beds. That kept our factories operating. Other furniture factories may be perhaps shut down for the war. We kept our factories running. We kept our employees, our associates working. We kept our suppliers in business. So after World War II, that's where I came from. That's where the baby boomers came from. And Bassett was already upfitted with new equipment in their factories to really produce. Today, as far as manufacturing wooden case goods, we're here in our plant in Martinsville, Virginia. We make solid wood, bench-made furniture. We were at lunch one day 16 years ago, and Rob, our CEO, asked the question, what is furniture's version of craft beer, small batch bourbon, farm to table? And honestly, we wrote it on a napkin. Solid wood, taken us back to our roots. Something fairly simple in design and manufacturing that would resemble manufacturing furniture from carpenter tools. And that founded our Benchmade product line in 2015.
We've been made in the U.S. since 1902. Unforeseen to us was the great Asian tsunami that started in the 80s and went into the 2000s and beyond. So we found ourselves scrambling to deal with something that we never envisioned happening. I think the first iteration of that was down in our Newton, North Carolina facility where you've been, that begat our custom upholstery, and so which we now refer to as true custom. And so that was an evolution over a number of years and became really the heart and soul and the core competency of the company, which was fabulous and required all new thinking. We used to run long batches and we migrated to one at a time. Moved forward a year or two or three, and here we are in Martinsville, Virginia, in this facility. And this facility was actually built for a department store customer of ours to make long runs of shiny cherry tables. And by the time the factory was built, unfortunately, those fellas had decided to go to Asia and buy shiny cherry tables. So what in the heck are we going to do with this building? Here we are. And so we had enjoyed this early success with the custom strategy, with the upholstery, and we said, why don't we do this in wood? So we came out with a casual dining program in the early 2000s, 3 tables, 3 chairs, 3 finishes, and it grew from there. And it's really been a great ride and something that we're known for and have gotten quite good at. There is no finished goods inventory. Everything is made to order. Every piece of this furniture is a special order, again, which was totally opposite from the culture that we had for decades and decades, where we would make long runs, put them in the warehouse, somebody would order them. So these things are made for an individual consumer, and we take great pride with every piece that comes out of here. We get a lot of input from our stores. We're very close to the consumer. We don't want to overdo it, but we do want to offer a high level of customization. 45% of the time, our sales in the stores emanate from a visit to the home. So a true design job. And so when you look at that and couple that with very skilled designers that we have working with us and offer them this array of choices, whether it be finish, wood species, fabric, leather, you name it, it really is quite unique. And then the fact that 73-4% of all this we do here in the U.S. is pretty unusual. When I go up and down the retail corridors of America and look at the competition, I go, you know, there are not many guys doing what we're doing. It's quite unique, and it's a highly personal way of selling furniture. We think we make people happy.
We have a website that has 1 million viewers a month, and so that combined with our store network across the country and our licensee program and everything, we've got a lot of touch points with the end consumer. And so I think that's one of the great things about having a domestic footprint, is because we can see where the most clicks are coming from and where the most page views are coming from for the website, for instance, and then we can talk to our store folks. And so I think it gives us an advantage there from a design standpoint, because we're not relying on the opinions of, you know, a wholesale sale operation. Not that we don't value those people's opinions, but our folks are just a little easier to contact. And so I just think that's one of the great competitive advantages of Bassett. Again, as Jeb and Dad, as both said, we were founded in 1902, and so our business was made by the open market relationships, we call it, the wholesale relationship, and selling to the traditional mom and pop furniture store. Now that world has evolved, and there's been the rise of the interior designer, but then in 1997 we got into corporate retail as well, and so our entire model has evolved. And now with the web coming in as well, we're truly an omni-channel player. And so I think from a store standpoint, we know that our product has elevated over the years. So my sister Ann and her team have really been working on showing the product in a way that we want it displayed in our stores, and really having the store itself kind of be elevated to the level of our product offering. And then I think, you know, with her expertise in fabrics, and again our domestic capability both in upholstery and on the wood side, I think we're attracting a new customer base, specifically the interior designer that maybe didn't think of Bassett Furniture as a true design option, when in fact, I mean, we use the highest quality materials, we get it off the door faster than anybody else, and when you take you know, upholstery capability and wood capability, I think we're in a class of our own. So it's been a fun story to tell to a new consumer base.